I'm Dr. Jen with White Wave Bodywork, and in this video what I want to talk to you about is ergonomics for picking items up off the floor during pregnancy. So one of the things that happens during pregnancy is our belly extends, right, and our center of gravity shifts forward. So what we want to really be aware of is great squat mechanics. So it's not really any different from any other squat mechanics. We want to have a balanced sense of where our pelvis is in space. So when I say that, I mean a little bit of a dip in our lower back, maybe like a robin's egg shape of a dip in our lower back. We don't want to just be giving way to this belly energy, and we don't want to be tucking our back and rounding forward to do this bending over activity. So there's a balanced action between this anterior pelvic tilt and a posterior pelvic tilt where there's a little bit of both going on. So a neutral pelvis is typically going to be that kind of robin's egg shape in the lower back. When we go up to an object that we want to pick up, we're going to bend forward, pull the object in close to our center of gravity, and then stand up from there. Now this is a light object, it's a pillow, but we're just applying that same concept to lifting a light pillow. All right, so from the front, what we want to see is that the feet are a little bit wider than the hips, that the knees are going in the same direction as the second toe. So if we're here and we're trying to pick something up, that may be more accessible for our hips, depending on how wide our belly is, and that's fine, but you want to make sure that the knees are going in the same direction as the second toe. What I see most commonly is that people have their toes turned out a little bit and their knees start to cave in when they try to pick something up. So I want you to try to be aware of what your tendencies are when you're trying to do something like this, and see what happens if you try to bend forward, keeping that dip in your lower back that we talked about, and see if you can keep the knees in the same direction as your second toe. By that I mean not too wide, not too narrow, in the same direction as the second toe. If that's turned out, then your knees need to go a little bit wider. Some of us don't have the ankle mobility or the hip mobility to get that much of a turn and keep our knees in that same direction. So that's something that we need to be aware of. So as we're trying to do this picking up of something, again, we're going to try to keep that dip in our lower back, pull the item in close to our center of gravity, and then stand. When you're placing it back down, you're going to walk towards where you're placing it, apply those same concepts. The hips shift back, the knees stay as wide as the second toe, and you place that item back down. So general squat mechanics, same thing that we would apply normally to our daily lives. Same kind of coaching that I would do in PT for anyone that wasn't pregnant, but it's just so much more important because our abs are so compromised by this filling up. They're not as active as they normally are, or they're not as, they're just overstretched, so they can't be as strong as they normally would be in supporting our low back during this time during pregnancy. So that's why I think we have a lot of that low back pain commonality in pregnancy, is because the abs are literally stretched to their max and they can't coordinate to contract in as strong of a way as they normally would. So it's just important to apply these concepts of ergonomic movement during pregnancy in a way that supports us. So I hope you learned something from that, and leave some comments in this comment section below if you are watching on YouTube, and have a great day. Thanks.